Come on. Come on, Han. We can do this together, buddy. You're my favorite character. Come on. What is with this game? Why did they release it like this? No campaign? Ugh. I mean, I don't just dislike the game because I suck at it.
Are you sure about that?
Shut up! That's not why I dislike the game. I specifically said that. Ugh. If only there was years and years of expanded universe content, games specifically, that I, the Degenerate, the world's foremost superhero in the reviewing market.
You're the only one, and we're not a superhero.
Yeah, you're right, there's not many, but I'm still the foremost. Douche. But anyway, that I could review. That gives me an idea. What do we have in the old games library here that could work? Oh, quite a bit of Star Wars. Let's see here. Dark Forces, Demolition, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. I don't even want to touch that. Let's go with Dark Forces.
Let me take it from here. I know you don't really like researching or doing any real work.
Hey, shut up!
Anyway, Star Wars Dark Forces was a first-person shooter developed by LucasArts originally for the Apple Macintosh and DOS back in '95. Although it would later see a release on the PlayStation, poor frame rate and graphical capabilities on the PlayStation 1 would lead that port to be seen as inferior.
Anyone can read the Wikipedia page, Jay. Let's take a look at the actual game.
Well, PC no less. What about PlayStation?
Come on, you can't emulate DOS on a PlayStation.
Banned for copyright infringement, Degenerate, you didn't remove the music! In all reality though, this game does have a great soundtrack. It's some classic Star Wars music along with some new pieces, changed slightly. It sounds arcadey, like a video game. Not really sure how much of the music I can put in here, so I took most of it out now that the franchise is in different hands, but if you want to look it up, I would definitely recommend looking up some of the music from Dark Forces, because you will be able to find it around.
Gotta say the cutscenes look great for an old game too. And check out the Vader impersonation.
The Emperor has approved your test demonstration, General Monk.
So this general is trying to get Darth Vader and the Emperor's approval by using the Dark Trooper project to wipe out the rebels. Now the Dark Troopers will show up again in later games. I'm not really sure if they are the droids in this game that they are in later ones, but I think they are.
Ooh, I have the next part. The creation of Kyle Katarn, the original character for this game. Alright, so back at LucasArts. Hey guys, let's make a carbon copy of Han Solo that's more of a douchebag and not as cool. And then later on turn him into a Jedi, okay? Okay, cool, Kyle Katarn, ship it.
This could be interesting.
What everyone is most likely interested in, though, is actually the gameplay. So, how does it hold up? Well, it actually holds up fairly well, even still. It's a lot like going back and playing the first or second Doom game. In a lot of ways, this is Star Wars' answer to the Doom franchise. It's been called a Doom clone, and I can totally see why, like, just look at the gameplay. Is it as iconic of a game as the Doom franchise? No, I would not say it is, but honestly, it still provides a pretty fun time, even in 2017.
But look at these old graphics, Jay. They look disgusting.
Well, I mean, actually, they don't look that bad, especially for when this game came out. It's actually still pretty clear even now on PC. It actually looks really good. I really like the sprite-based graphics. The only drawback that the game has is that at longer distances, it can be harder to see the details of the characters, but other than that, there's no problem. You can even shoot people from ridiculous distances where I couldn't even tell someone was a person, and I could still kill them.
Yeah, but why can't I aim up and down? What kind of shooter is this?
Well, actually, that's pretty common for back then. You didn't really have games where you could move up and down like you can now with the with being able to look up and down with an analog stick or with the mouse. Back then, it was more done on a two-dimensional plane. It looks like 3D, yes, but you couldn't really look up and down like you said. And it doesn't actually impair the shooting.
Huh. Wow, I didn't even realize that. I can shoot people who are above me without even looking up. This is good. A game made for lazy people. I like it.
And honestly, look at the number of guns they included. 10 different guns? If you include hand-to-hand at least, that's pretty good. That's not bad at all, especially for this time period, and it doesn't really get boring. Despite some small gripes I may have with Kyle Katarn, there's also a lot of really cool lore inclusions and nods to the original trilogy in this game as well. Even the Dianoga, the trash compactor creature, if you remember from the original A New Hope, is actually in this game. A bunch of them are. They're a common enemy when you have to walk through the refuse and sewage on this planet, and it's really cool to see an inclusion like this. This is not something I would have thought to include if I was making a game. That's the biggest strength of this game, really, is that it treats the source material with respect. It also plays very fun and fluidly, but it never really makes fun of or pokes fun or makes a joke out of the Star Wars universe. It never really doesn't take itself seriously, but at the same time it doesn't take itself so seriously that you feel like you're in some kind of post-apocalyptic wasteland digging for scraps to survive the night.
Ooh, what a surprise. Couldn't resist bringing up your favorite game, Fallout. Look, any game where you can do this is good in my book.
Oh, there certainly are quite a few great things in this game, like punching stormtroopers. However, there's a few negatives I'd like to cover as well, one of them being the color gray. And what I mean by that is not that I hate the color gray or that the shade of gray in this game is by any means bad. It is quite a beautiful shade of gray if I do say so myself. But there's a lot of environments that really are just one primary color, like gray, or red in one case, but mainly gray. And I understand that a lot of the Imperial architecture, if you're looking at it from a canon standpoint, would have been the same. But frankly, it gets a little boring as far as environments go at times. A lot of the times you're running down the same gray hallways, or lighter gray granite hallways, or darker gray metal hallways, and at certain times that can get a little tedious. It doesn't make the game bad, but a little bit more variety in the ecosystems around you at play in the game would have been nice to see. Another negative is that even though 10 guns is quite a bit for the time, it's not quite a bit by today's standards. By today's standards, most shooters launch with 25 to 30 guns. Most shooters. Cough, cough, Titanfall 1, cough, cough. Most. But anyway, so 10 is not by any means bad, but at times it's noticeable that you don't have more than that many. But the game is so cheap nowadays that you really can't go wrong picking it up, especially with these being the only main gripes I had other than Kyle Katarn being a poorly written fan fiction character.
Whoa, wait a minute, is this the first game that we're deeming perfect then?
Well, no, not exactly perfect. I mean, there are a few problems like we talked about before, and it's also a product of its times.
Well, yeah, of course it's a product of the time. That's when it was made, genius.
Well, yeah, that's true, but what I mean is not necessarily an objective criticism. It's more just that it's very DOS, if you get what I'm saying.
I don't. I love DOS.
Well, actually, yeah, it's not bad, but like the thing is that there's no organic level design here. It's very Duke Nukem or Doom, where you just kind of have to either know where you're going or guess. There's no waypoint, even though in recent years that practice has made gamers very lazy, but there's also no flow to the level. Sometimes you have to go one place way far away to flip a switch, to come back way far away to like look in a secret passage that just opened up and then proceed through there. It's very padded difficulty. It's padded length. It's not hard, it's just that it's not organic. It doesn't flow. You have to kind of wander and meander around to figure out where you're going. That said, this is a criticism that stands true of 99% of games that were made during this time period. And honestly, before the last 10 years, most games in general were this way. They didn't really have a super organic flow or good indicators of where to go. And that's just the way it is. It doesn't make the game bad, but it by no means made the game any better. And what we're looking at here is whether or not the game holds up today. I certainly think it does, but you need to have some patience to be able to play it in 2017.
Wow. Overall, this game held up pretty well. Especially for a product of the expanded universe.
You know the old expanded universe isn't canon now, right?
Wait a minute. What did you say?
It's its own canon, the Legends universe. Disney changed the canon.
Legends? New timeline? Not canon? How could you? You are the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy Disney, not join them. Bring balance to the canon. Not leave it in darkness. I hate you! You were my brother, Expanded Universe. I loved you.